Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Paris Thomas, back at again with another video. And today I'm going to be doing a story time about my first toxic breakup. So don't mind my background, but like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and let's get into it. Disclaimer, I'm not trying to start anything, not trying to spread no mess, not trying to put no names to anything, because it's my story. I'm gonna say what I need to say, and it's just strictly story time, and it was recommended by one of my friends. So yeah. So the relationship basically started in November. We had met um prior by one of his other friends, and he liked me before, but I didn't really like him as much, so I blew that shit the fuck off because I just was not feeling it. And he was a type that he moved entirely too fast. He started talking about somehow we gonna be together, and that was a major turn off. So that's why I didn't jump on the bandwagon when he first tried to get at me. But yeah, eventually, as I started like talking to him more, we started having more things in common. I was like, okay, maybe he a pretty nice dude. And I had just found out, that we went to the same school, like middle school or whatever. So I was just like, okay, did we have more in common or whatever? So that's how I started catching feelings to begin with. And my friends knew about it because I would always tell them like, oh, I like him and all of that stuff. And yeah. So, on November 16th is when we first started going out, and that was that. I was very happy. I was excited to, be in the first relationship. The first argument was within the first week, and it was the day before we got out for Thanksgiving break, and he basically accused me of cheating on him, and he accused me of flirting and having other dudes around me, and yeah. And so I was very confused because we had no arguments prior to that Friday of what happened. Um, I was, yeah, I was mad confused. Didn't know if I wanted to break up with him right then, but I decided to give him another chance because his other best friend at the time was just like, okay, maybe he just tripping. I'm gonna talk to him. She talked to him, and then like we worked things out, and it was good after that. I didn't have no problems. But then over Thanksgiving break, he started wilding out a lot. I used to play basketball my freshman year, which was last year. I used to play basketball, so over the Thanksgiving break, I had practice 24/7, and I had a game. I went to my game, played. I came back home, and I look on social media, and I see that he posted on his story talking about some he need attention, hit him up, you know what I'm saying, just doing too much. So I hit him up. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is this? And he's just like, why you didn't text me? Where you been at? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you didn't text me? Where were you? And I'm just like, I had a game. He was like, oh, well, I ain't know all that. You didn't want to tell nobody. I'm just like, but you act like you didn't know that I was on a team. And I had been told him this because we had discussed. He was just like, oh, I'm going to decide if I want to come to your game. So it wasn't like he didn't know. And even if he did know, that's still kind of fucked up. But I let it go. I should have broke it off then, but I let that shit go. The rest of that week, it was just full of, little petty arguments, but it wasn't too much. We got back from the break, and everything was fine. But I noticed that the arguments that happened were like on a regular schedule. Like every single Friday, there was something going on. You know what I'm saying? Every single Friday. Like he was itching to get an argument with me. It didn't matter it didn't matter what it was about. Most of the arguments, it had something to do with him just being mad insecure, like me wearing certain stuff that he didn't like, or the way I acted around people. He didn't like that, and that's what most of the arguments were about. But when I questioned him about stuff that he did, it was always you're tripping, you do the same thing type shit. So yeah, one day I had a game, and this was like after someone had got into a fight or whatever. Me and him had took pictures because wanted to take pictures. Everything was fine until I got home, and he starts another argument. So I'm just like, you know what, bro? Okay, maybe we should just take a break. And he was just like, what? I can't believe you said that. You want to break up with me? And I said, that's not what I said. I said we should take a break because we're constantly arguing. But obviously he didn't hear that, and I ended up blowing his phone up because he's just like, bro, like, you're not listening to me. And he just like didn't want to hear me. And I didn't mean to blow his phone up, but like, I don't like people ignoring me. I'm trying to talk to them. You feel me? But I did bust out crying that night, and that's when my parents found out, because me and him had been going out for at least 2 weeks before my parents found out about everything that was happening. And basically what they said was that if he's making you cry that much, then why are you still with him? And regardless of that, when we got back, I was still like kind of upset. My friends was concerned about me. They was just like, "Are you gonna break up with him?" I was like, "I don't know." And after like a long thought, he was just like, "Okay, I love you. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen again." And then I took him back, and that was that. When I got my hair done, this is when we rolling into December. December is when a lot of drama started happening. Actually, that was December. Let me shut up. A lot of stuff started happening. Yeah, we start rolling into December, and there wasn't as many problems, but there were still many problems when we got on break. When we got on break, we got into an argument on Christmas, and it was about because he felt like my family didn't like him, and he had a problem with that. He was just like, "Why they feel like they don't like me? They talking mess about me, da da da." And it's like he was on the phone too, and I was just like, "Why are you concerned about what others say about you? Like, are you that insecure? Do you have to worry about what people are saying about you? Like, why do you need validation from other people?" Obviously, if I'm still talking to you, like, I still fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, he didn't understand that, and he took it out on me, and he did like a little breakup prank or whatever. Which he knows how I feel. Like, he knew how I felt about that, and he did it anyway. But the reason why like it always caught me off guard was because like it would just happen out of nowhere. Like, what are you talking about? He basically his excuse would just be like, by now you should know the deal. You should already know I'm gonna do this type shit. Like, he didn't have no type of remorse. No matter how many times he said sorry, he did not care. So I forgave him. But then my birthday came around, and around my birthday last year, I was very emotional because one of my close friends had passed away, and me and him shared the same birthday. And so, like, yeah, it was really kind of sad for me. I did cry on my birthday because it was sad. And, like, not one time did I get a happy birthday for him at all. Like, the only message I got from him that day was, like, at 11 o'clock on my birthday. And he called me. And he basically was just like, "Why do you look like that?" type shit. I didn't get no happy birthday, not, "Oh, you look good today." Like, none of that shit. Never did get any type of compliments from him at all. Like, it was strictly just, like, it was a very controlling relationship. Like, for real. He always like, "Why you wearing that? You know, you shouldn't be wearing this. You need to cover up. Why you talking to him? Why you talking to him?" Um, and like we used to go to sleep on the phone. It would always be like, "Why did you hang up?" And I would just be like, "Okay, my connection is acting up, so that's why." And he like, "Well, you need to call me back. Why you didn't call me back?" Like one time, like when we went to school, that was literally like what he argued and fussed with me about, and I was just like, the boy best friend stuff, I'm not even getting into that because that's a whole different story, baby. We would be here all day if I discuss all of that shit. But just know that he was very insecure about that as well. Like, "Oh, when we go back to school, all you're gonna do is cheat on me." The relationship was very materialistic type stuff. He bought me a chain for my birthday after the fact, and he was just like, "You better not lose this. I spent $80 on this. When you go to school, like when you do track, when you do gym, you need to give it to me so that you won't lose it, because if you lose it, I just might break up with you." I'm like, wow. I didn't know it was a materialistic relationship. It will always be like, "Oh, let me record this. Why you don't post me? Post this, post that." It stressed me the fuck out, and it stressed me out so bad to the point where my hair started to fall out. I was very unhappy. My skin started to break out a lot. I was very tired, and you could see it in me too. I was just done with the shit. Did I break up with him? No, and I should have. The amount of arguments, like my mom would tell you, like, bro, like she can't even count how many times on her fingers I was sitting in my room bawling my eyes out because I didn't know what to do, or because I was confused on what I did, when it really in reality was not my fault. We got back to school. He was just consistently worried about me cheating on him. I ain't for what. And my entirety of the relationship, he was telling people that we weren't together or that he was gonna break up with me without telling me. He never did tell me this. He straight up lied to my face about a lot of stuff. And people didn't tell me that until after my relationship. Like, come on, bro. February, on Valentine's Day, I decided to give him something. Did he give me anything? No. But I wasn't necessarily concerned about that. What I was concerned about was that the fact that his ex had gave him something. And I was just like, huh? Honestly, I was pissed the fuck off, but I wasn't necessarily pissed at her. You know, I wasn't like really mad at her. I was really mad at him because you allowed that to happen. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna give another female validation to do that in front of your girlfriend? You feel me? So I wasn't really even mad at her at that point. I was just mad, furious at him. But did he care? No. He basically was just like, I'm trying to be happy. This is Valentine's Day, and I'm like, oh, I should took my shit back. But I'm not built like that. You feel me? I forgave him. I moved the fuck on. We go into winter break. That's that last week in February. We get into one argument that basically like cut off the entire relationship. He called me out of my name. Long story short, he was just like, "Go run back to your boy best friend. That's the best thing you always do anyway, so it don't matter." And I was like, "Oh, all right, bet." He tried to call me. He tried to apologize, and I listened to him. He was just like, "Oh, you're gonna be my wife. We gonna get married when I graduate. This and that." And I was just like, "Listen, I'm gonna call you back." He was just like, alright, bruh. So, like, I called him back, and I told him that I didn't want to be with him anymore. The messages didn't go through, so I texted his, at the time, girl best friend. And she told him, and he was, like, mad. And then he wasn't mad about it, but he was, like, sad. Like, why you leaving me? And I was just like, bro, like, I'm sad about it, but you keep hurting me. And it was really just back and forth. That whole little week, it was back and forth. During that time, I did get my hair dyed. My skin started to clear up a lot, and I felt better about myself. I started taking a lot of pictures of myself. Again, just felt very good about myself. And, you know, around that week, you know, I did try to, like, okay, let's be a good acquaintance. But then he still was just trying to act like we were still in a relationship. Like, he was still being controlling even without the relationship. So I was like, you know what? At that point, I had completely lost feelings. Like, I was done after that. And he did the same shit that he did when we were in a relationship. And I was just like, I don't want anything to do with you now, like, at all now. And he was, like, mad as fuck, but I didn't give a fuck. I didn't really care after that. Because, you know, it was like I already told you once. I told you hella times, gave you several opportunities and chances to get your shit together, and you did not. So, that was that. Then he starts blowing up my phone, talking about some, you're not leaving me. You know, this is not happening. You're not gonna leave me. And I'm just like, what? Come again? Oh, okay. So, I left. The fuck? When we got back to school, I gave him back his little chain back since he valued that so much. I gave that shit back to him. He snatched it out of my hand, which is mad disrespectful, but he snatched it out of my hand. You know, my friends had my back the whole time, period. He, like, it just seemed like he just tried to make me jealous with anybody who anybody he tried to talk to, which I did not give a fuck because I didn't want shit to do with him anymore. Didn't even pay attention. Didn't even look at him. You feel me? The little shirt he gave me, baby, I took that shit off in the gym. I said, and I tossed that shit in the trash can, like, in front of everybody. They was like, and what you gonna wear? I'm like, a hoodie. And I threw on a hoodie, period. The next day, oh yeah, I also started rekindling things with people that I cut off because of my relationship, or, you know, and everything was going good. So, I got cute the next day, you feel me? I was feeling good with myself. I come to school, and I started trying to talk to somebody else, and he found out about it, and of course, he was just mad about it, but the fuck they gotta do with me? Lunch. I was talking to one of my friends, and I just happened to sit at the same table that my ex sat at, because I always been sitting at the table since before he even got there, you feel me? And even if he was there before me, like, oh, like, this kissing with Junior, and like, oh, I've been sitting here since freshman year, bitch, it's a seat. It does not have your name on it. I sit here when I want to, you feel me? So, that's what happened. Yeah, so I sat there, and his book bag was in the way, which I didn't know it was his book bag at the time. I'm like, yo, whose book bag is this? Didn't nobody want to answer me or anything. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'm going to move this book bag on the table, and I'm going to sit right here. And then he goes, don't touch my shit. I'm like, what? And then he was like, don't touch my shit. Go sit your ass over there. That's on God, that's what he said. I was like, who? I was like, my nigga, who are you talking to? He was like, nobody wants you here. Nobody fucks with you. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. All of that shit. And I was like, I bet. And I was like, you know what, bitch, who the fuck are you talking to? I started going ham. I started going back and forth. Everybody's sitting there just quiet as fuck. And so I went back to eat my lunch. I'm just like, you know what, but I don't gotta keep dealing with this shit. I was like, you want the seat, you can have the shit. And I took my shit and I threw my shit in the trash can and I walked off. And of course, my friends, they was like, what's wrong? And I told them, and you know, they helped me back to class. You know, they handled it the best way they could. You know, they're my friends or whatever. You feel me? And so I'm trying to think. I told my dad about it. I texted him. And then after my 5th period, I was going to my 6th period. And I think what made me fall down, like cry or break down a lot, was just the fact that I seen him with the same person he told me not to worry about, which was his ex, I guess. So that made me break down even more, and it made me like really upset. And the fact is, he told me that he saw me cry and didn't care. He literally said that shit, and again, that's what made me even more emotional about it. I went to the office, and I told them everything that went on in the relationship. Everything. I was there like the whole day. Even came back the next day and told them some more stuff. They were like, hey, cut all connections with him. If he texts you, don't keep texting him back. It's okay. And I'm just like, okay, bet. The next day, he tried to get another female to fight me. She had followed me to my lunch. She was following me to my classes. And I was just like, the fuck? Of course, I was unfazed because I didn't know her. So I went to the office, and come to find out that she was just like, oh, you know, he told me that you were talking mess. I was like, baby girl, I don't even know you. So that cut the incident off real quick. And then I was just like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, are you sick? And he was just like, I didn't do none of that. And I was just like, wow, you just so cap, bro. Finally, I didn't really hear anything from him. Like, nah. Like, he texted me a few times, like, asking for his hoodies back, and which I had threw all of them away. I didn't want anything to do with that. And when we got off for quarantine, he tried to talk to one of my friends, get one of my friends to talk to him so that he could talk to me. And my friends was just not having that shit at all. And so that didn't work out. And over time, he did start to stop talking to me, which I was very happy for, because that shit was horrible. And, you know, he got him somebody cool beans. Yeah. But honestly, that's really it. It's really way more into the story, but I really do not want to get into that. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe for more videos, and bye.